Columbus comes out of the Spanish Inquisition, right? The Spanish Inquisition says if you're not a Catholic, even if you're a Protestant, Calvinist, Lutheran, it doesn't matter. You're going to die. The Spanish Inquisition, the Catholics for about 1,000 years was killing everybody in Europe. If you weren't going to be a Catholic, their kind of Catholicism, the Pope, the Holy Roman Empire was chosen by the Pope. The Pope said, okay, you're going to be the emperor, and then they ruled over this Holy Roman Empire, which is all but a name. It's all bullshit. So this is the biggest con game ever in the history of mankind. Holy Roman Empire, neither Holy nor Roman nor an empire, but it ruled for 1,000 years. So they were able to, dupe the people enough. People were talking about the apocalypse, the Holy Roman Empire. Oh my God, it's all over. It's all over. No, that illusion, that illusory bullshit you believed, it wasn't, it wasn't even real to begin with. Holy Roman Empire, the only thing that exists today are Liechtenstein and then Hamburg and Bremen. They operate with, autonomy. They're autonomous cities in Germany, Liechtenstein, Bremen, and Hamburg. That's all we got left with the princes and the kings. They're all now republics. So shit, the Holy Roman Empire is fucking gone. It's no more. August 6, 1806, totally smashed, totally gone. So the Battle of Austerlitz, the Czech Republic, the Battle of Austerlitz was in the Czech Republic. It's the Battle of Austerlitz. Napoleon is going to get Francis II to abdicate. One man quits, and now the entire Holy Roman Empire is gone, never to be gained again. It's the House of Habsburg, right? And the end of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, they're going to get dissolved in 1918. So Francis II, he lost his empire, right? He lost the Holy Roman Empire. So that was number 9. I'm comparing and contrasting to the U.S. occupation ending in Haiti in 1934. So that was the one that didn't make the cut. Number 9, abdication of Francis II, Holy Roman Empire being dissolved. Big, big news. Fantastic news. Number 8, right? Top 9. I was only able to get through half of them. So number 8. The 8th greatest event that happened on August the 6th is not listed. So there is no 8. We're just going to go straight on to 7. No, we would go ahead and pop the 7. No, 8. Is there no 8? If there really is no 8, I'm going to have to... Let's do this a little slowly, right? There's the electric chair was used for the first time. That's an honorable mention too. But a lot of people are opposed to the death penalty. I believe in justice. And the guy that they killed, it's they botched it, and basically the electric chair is terrible. And they're going to have Westinghouse say they should have just used an axe. An axe would have been better to kill, William Kindler. But William Kindler killed a woman with an axe. And so, as much as I'm like God, I'm feeling somewhat pity because he had a terrible death. He gave a terrible death to a woman. So that's justice. And I'm okay with that. Another honorable mention in 1856, James Naismith spoke on the form of lightning, the 26th meeting of British Association at Cheltenham. Apparently, James Naismith thinks that lightning came up from the ground and goes up to a cloud and then to another point in the world. So it's not coming down from the clouds, it's coming up, right, and then going to some other place. So, honorable mentions, right, but so 8. If I don't have 8, then that means that's going to pop, it's going to pop them back up, right? It's going to pop the Haitians back up. The Haitians kicked out the Americans. I'll put it up at number 8 because that's a pretty big day, right? Pretty big day. All right, I'm going to make it number 8. Number 8, the Haitians kick out the Americans. How did I miss number 8? Anyways. All right, that's fantastic, right? Number 8. So now we're going to do number 7. Number 7, where are we at with number 7? Do we have a number 7, or are we just going to, is this chicken shit outfit, is it just going to be, 1979, Marcus Hooper is only 12 years old, and he's the youngest person to swim the English Channel. 12 years of age? Young people, there's so many things that young people have accomplished. For you to stick your kid into an authoritarian government school so they smash the kids' curiosity and independent spirit and wanting to, live and learn and do everything. That's terrible. That is awful. I don't know why anybody would do that to their kid. 1979, Marcus Hooper, 12 years of age. 12. Swam. What are you doing at 12, right? Sitting in a fucking class, he's swimming. The English Channel made the history books. That's number 7. That's fantastic, right? Carl Lewis, we could do long jumps, right? And we could swim we could swim a river, right? Swim a river, do long jumps. Number 7. Number 6, 1965, Martin Luther King Jr. is going to get LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, to pass the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which prohibited discrimination against minority voting. And we've never had a problem with voting ever since. No suppression of the votes, no presidents talking about, killing mail-in voting. No. We are just all about democracy, getting more people to come vote. The whole idea of voter suppression, that's fucking sick. In a democracy, you're trying to get people not to vote? You're pretty fucking sick. And that's Selma. Make sure you watch the movie Selma. It totally talks about the Voting Rights Act of 1965, MLK. He got civil rights passed. And then he is like, we got to double down. We got to consolidate. We got to make sure civil rights stays up, and we need voting. So get civil rights, then get some voting. And then he started talking about economics. So it was free to give them the right to vote, free to give civil rights. Now we're talking about economics. Well, shit, he's going to get assassinated, I bet you. 1965, the Voting Rights Act is going to pass August 6th, 1965. That's the number 6. Greatest event, number 6, Holidaze. Number 5, 1966, you have, some are historically important, but other things, just the visual. You need the visual. So, Ali, 1966, Muhammad Ali is going to knock out Brian London in 3 rounds at Earl's Court in London to retain the undisputed heavyweight title. 1966. So this is, in the middle of the 60s. You got Ali fighting Brian London. Brian London's all scared, right? He's all defensive in the very beginning. He got a little bit of, chutzpah, and he got some cheers and shit. But you could just tell. You could just tell by the bodies. You could tell by their stances. Brian London had no fucking chance. There was no way Brian London could win. You could tell why I was like, oh shit, this is the great Ali. So Ali is going to knock out Brian London in round 3. TKO. Number 4 is Cuba nationalizes U.S. and foreign-owned property. They nationalize the oil and the sugar of foreign companies. Pisses off America. Eisenhower tried to, cut the rations of sugar. They weren't going to buy all the sugar from Cuba no more. So Eisenhower started the shit, kind of, right? They're trying to starve Cuba into submission. So Cuba's like, well, fuck, if you're going to injure us, then we're going to go ahead and just, we're going to take our country back. You had all these corporations. They're taking all of our sugar. They're taking our oil. So, we're just going to, kick the corporation out and just keep the buildings and the equipment and all that stuff, right? So Cuba's the opposite, right? When it comes to PepsiCo, the CEO is going to step down in 2018, August 6th. But Pepsi continues. Not if it was in Cuba, right? So Cuba is like, no, the person remains and the corporation leaves. So that's 1960. Fucking 60 years ago, right? 60 years ago, August 6th, Cuba did some revolutionary shit where they actually cared about. Cuba's the one leading the whole nation when it comes to this COVID thing, sending their doctors everywhere. Cuba, even though they might have some poverty issues, Cuba has doctors all over the place. They're one of the most educated when it comes to medicine. They're renowned. Everybody wants a Cuban doctor in these times, these troubled times. An American doctor? No, we need a Cuban doctor. We need to actually get some Cuban doctors in here. Meanwhile, American politics, if you just say something nice about Fidel, then you got to say, well, I didn't mean it. Which is why Fidel's fine. This little tiny island nation, showed big dog-eat-dog capitalist America. We're going to take care of our own people. And it pissed America off so much, we tried to invade Cuba over and over again. What, you're going to take care of your own people? What the fuck pisses Americans off? American government, who is elected by the American people, right? They're going to just keep on declaring war against Cuba. Even today, this information war, right? You said something good about Fidel? Yeah, what do you mean? You got a literacy program. That's a bad thing? You're going to sit there and say there's something wrong with that? So let's see. Number 3 Number 3, 1960. Chubby Checker performs his version of the twist on the Dick Clark Show, starting a worldwide dance craze. So Dick Clark never ages, right? Now, the twist, there's going to be a bunch of people just censorship and people freaking out. So this is, Chubby Checker is going to be the Soldier Boy of 1960, August 6th. He does his version of the twist, do the twist. And he goes ahead, you know, worldwide dance craze. Freaking everybody out, right? 1960. You got Elvis gyrating his hips. You got Chubby Checker, you know, doing the twist. Jesus Christ, these men are just getting all sexualized. And these men are being sexualized? Well, that's just all the mores. All the Victorian mores are out the window. So that was number 3, right? That's the twist. The whole time I'm reading this thing, I'm like, do the twist. So, Independence Day, Bolivia from Spain, that's number 2. And the number 1 holiday for August 6th is the birth of Alexander Fleming. He's going to have an absolute revolution in medicine. He's the first one to find an antibiotic that, you know, kills this bacteria, kills all this bacteria to where you can just, you know, it helps with, I think, syphilis and gonorrhea and staph infection. Penicillin is just this wonder antibiotic. Alexander Fleming, he's going to find it. He's going to accidentally discover it, right? Petri dish or some shit, and it grew, and he was like, what the hell is this? And then it was killing the stuff onto the side, so he's like, well, this is worth studying. So yeah, Alexander Fleming, born August 6, 1881. He's the number 1. He's number 1. He's number 1. I guess I'm just going to mention, so let's see, Wollaston, the Wollaston prison. No, I'm not going to mention. There's some other scientist here, but I'm not going to waste your time with that. There is something, maybe there is life found on Mars by a rock that they found, you know, fell from Mars 13,000 years ago. I don't want you to go down that wormhole, so I'm not going to mention that either. I'm not going to mention that either. Peru, Simon Boulevard. Yeah, I guess I'll put those two together. Anything else? Can I say anything else? Yeah, interesting. I'm glad I did this because the 2 notable mentions, and number 8, I forgot number 8. I only had 20, and the U.S. troops leave Haiti after a 9-year occupation. That is number 8. So anyways, happy birthday, Alexander Fleming. Thank God we had an Alexander Fleming, a scientist that was actually thinking, okay, we got disease, bacteria, we need to click here, and then he figured it out. He said he tried, you don't want, you know, sometimes you find something that you weren't looking for. And he was like, did I cause a revolution in medicine? Yeah, I guess I did. I wasn't looking for it, but apparently that's exactly what I did. Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming. How can you walk through life not really know? You don't know Alexander Fleming? I bet you think COVID's a hoax, don't you? You don't even know Alexander Fleming? He was born August 6th, 1881. How old is this motherfucker? And he's like smarter than everybody I know. And he's dead. He's dead. We could read his work and we could be just as smart as he was. But we're like, the internet, postmodern generation. Let's just reinforce our ignorance. Can we just do that? So, yeah. Happy August 6th, everybody. Peace.